offensive to say you look good for your age. A campaign by the Centre for Ageing Better has urged the public to challenge friends who use the belittling phrases like this. Now, the charity also says that referring to older people as sweet or kind is unacceptable, as it's ageist and can fuel damaging stereotypes about growing older. So would you be upset if someone said that you look good for your age, or is this just political correctness gone mad? Do give us a call, 0207 862 2222, and we'll speak to you in just a moment. Now, well, before I get to the panel's views on this, part of the campaign is the Age Without Limits quiz, which we have all taken on the panel. In this online quiz, which urges the public to test whether they are ageist or not, you're asked questions such as, how would you feel if you heard a friend describe an older person as sweet? Answers included, I wouldn't think too much about it. Older people can be really sweet. I can see it might sound a bit patronising, but it's not meant with any harm. Or, it is belittling and I should call my friend out for it. Now, we all took the test and we can reveal our results. Albie and I actually, interestingly, got the same result, and it said that we were anti-ageing. Were you surprised by your results?
Well, isn't everyone anti-ageing? No one wants to age, do they?
Well, I'd rather age than the alternative.
Well, I suppose the alternative is dying, I suppose. Look, I mean, come on. Some of this stuff is just silly. These are compliments. If you call someone sweet or kind, or you say someone that's good for their age...
I should say at this point that, Nina, you came out on top. You're absolutely pro-ageing. Congratulations. You were the most positive.
I have no choice. I mean, it's obviously going to be... But the thing is, Albie, what I object to is the patronising thing. When somebody looks at an older person and goes... It's always a head tilt. Ah, bless. And she, oh, she's sweet and kind. I mean, I am neither sweet nor kind. Well, at least I hope I am kind.
Well, I would say you were both.
Well, thank you. Yes, but it's the tone of it. It's the bless. Look at them. They can still sit up.
But and I can see that, because actually, and when I took the test, I think the two things I fell down on, and the reason that I am anti-ageing is because I said I wouldn't mind because older people could be sweet on that particular question, and there was another question about anti-ageing creams and whether it bothered you, and I answered the question something like, it doesn't really bother me, maybe it could help you look better. Yeah. And that was classed as anti-ageing.
Well, I disagree with that.
See where that might be a
Bring
problem.
it on, bring it on. I mean, the most...
Have you ever used anti-ageing creams before?
All the time. I mean, I've used anti-ageing creams since I was 20, possibly. You know, I of course, everybody wants to look better or younger, but I think that what the survey says is what they're trying to say is you shouldn't want to look younger. You know, but I think that's human nature to want to look younger, because younger is more attractive, younger is fresh.
But this is what society is dictating to us. So we are all reactive to the society we were brought up in and the society around us, and we're reacting accordingly. But apparently, according to this charity, perhaps we need to turn that on its head and stop seeing youth as beauty and start seeing beauty across the ages. So instead of saying, Albie, you look good for your age, people should say, you look good. Or instead of saying, she looks good for an older woman, it should be, she's a good-looking older woman.
And I understand that, but I have to say, what irritates me, as someone who is black and as someone who is gay and as someone who has been the victim of the most awful racial and homophobic slurs all the time on social media, I find it quite puerile that now it is supposed to be offensive to say that someone is sweet, kind, or looks good for their age. These are all compliments. Being called the N-word or the F-word is not a compliment in any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, but
and the idea that these words should be conflated and be equally offensive is ridiculous.
Understand the perspective you're coming from there, but then we're comparing offensiveness, and I don't think you can compare racism
and obviously
in that manner to a compliment.
That should never happen. And
good looking for your age.
What you have gone through and go through is not to be belittled in any way. And I feel for you, and I think it's dreadful. And not given to violence, but I'd punch somebody out if they did that in my presence.
Not that we condone any violence.
No, not in violence. And I've never punched anybody in my life. But anyway, it's not too late to start, of course. But the thing is, you know, it's I said it's the tone of things. Of course, sweet and kind are compliments, but it's
The head tilt.
it's the head tilt. But there is also. You talk about the generational. I was brought up in an era when if a woman was 40, she was dead. She was. You just didn't notice her at all because she was beyond her
Childbearing
bloom.
years.
Childbearing years, absolutely. So, and that, thank God, has changed, and we all we're keeping ourselves younger because young. Who doesn't want to be young? I mean, I don't want to be young, but I don't want to be old,
Well,
which I am.
Here's a question. Would you like to go back to any age that you have travelled through?
40s, maybe 50s, but I had fabulous 50s. I had fabulous 60s.
See,
and I'm having very nice 70s.
I wouldn't want to go back, so maybe I don't view youth as positively as. But maybe when I'm older, I'll come back.
I was so excited to turn 30 earlier on this year. You know, I don't think it's a bad thing to age. With age comes wisdom, comes responsibility. You're
Sometimes
earning more
it doesn't,
money.
actually.
You know, what in general sense. You know, I look back at my younger years and. Teenage years are very challenging.
I'd hate to be a teenager.
20s can be
quite
quite
challenging. Hate to be in my 20s. I wouldn't like to be in my 30s. And I've never worried about age apart from when I turned 70. And I was depressed for 2 months beforehand.
Oh, no.
It was dreadful. I was quite awful.
That's very disappointing to hear. Yeah. As I say to my older relatives, what's the alternative? Let's celebrate every year. Linda from Kent, what's your views?
Good morning. Good afternoon. Yes, I don't mind people saying that I sometimes get complimented that I don't look my age, and I don't mind if people say I look good for my age. I'd rather they just said I look good, but I just take it as a compliment, and that's fine. And if somebody wants to say I'm kind, well, that's a compliment as well, because I think I am quite kind. But
Linda, just going back to the you look good for your age, and you said you would rather someone just said you look good. Why can't we as a society just stop there? Why can't we say Linda looks fantastic? And I bet you do, Linda. I can't see you, but you sound like you look great.
Well, thank you very much. But yes, I think I do look quite good when I scrub up quite well sometimes. But, not always. But yes, I mean, I am 70, so, but I don't think I'm old.
No.
My head still says I'm 17, actually.
Linda.
But the body's not so good, still
Linda,
not 17, but there you are.
Yesterday, I was at an event in Parliament and I was chatting to this guy and I told him I was 30 years old and he said to me I look good for my age. Now, if I'm getting it at 30 years old, you're getting it at 70 years old, neither of us are finding it offensive. Do we need to be told not to say it, Linda?
No. I'm a little bit fed up with people being told what to say.
So am I.
I think people are going to get to the stage where we don't talk to one another anymore because we're always frightened of being offensive.
No, I don't think we should stop compliments. I don't think we're being too critical of people that use the for your age at the end of the set. I think we're just bringing it to light that actually
fine.
It might be nice to just leave that bit out.
Yep.
Yes, but don't be offended by it. Don't be offended.
No, I think it's the intention that's important, and if someone's giving you a compliment, they intend it to be a good thing. Linda, thank you very much for your call. Sally from West Midlands, what do you think about, looking good for your age? Is it an ageist comment?
I don't think it's particularly offensive to say you look good for your age. I don't think much of it anyway. I mean, if somebody was to turn around to me and say, you look good for your age, depending on how they said it, their attitude, then I'll probably give a comment back to them saying, well, you look pretty good for your age, bearing in mind that they might be about 20
nice,
and I'm like saying
aggressive. I like that, Sally.
It just depends. It works both ways.
But if we think about it, Sally, why do we feel so free to say you look good for your age when we would never say it about any other distinguishing feature? Like you wouldn't say to somebody, oh, you look good for a Scottish person, or you look good for an atheist, or you look good for somebody with a disability. We would never say anything like that.
Yeah,
so why do we think it's so
any...
free and easy to say, oh, you look good for your age?
I don't know why it's so free and easy. I mean, I've come across situations like that, and I'm over 60, okay? Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I think it depends in all circumstances on how it's coming across, who it's coming across from, and how they're saying it to you. So if they are saying, you look good for your age, in a derogatory manner, and you can always tell when somebody's being, funny about it, then you just have to be smart and give the kind of response that they don't expect you to give back to them and make them feel, oh, do I look older than my age?
I'm hearing, Sally,
do you know what I mean?
that the intention has a big part to play in all of this. Sally, thank you for your call. Apparently we're getting loads of calls on this, so let's fire through it. Howard from London, what's your views on you look good for your age? Would you be happy if I said that to you?
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. But one thing I did realise, when people were talking about patronising, I think that survey in itself is patronising, because whoever created it is trying to sort of trying to say who is ageist and who isn't.
Well, is it trying to do that, or is it trying to point out, because I was quite surprised when it came out that I was anti-ageing, because I thought I'm quite pro getting older, I look forward to my older age, so it shocked me. But actually there are little things like anti-aging cream I seen as a positive thing. But why? Because it's trying to make us look younger, which tells me that I think beauty lies in youth. Why do I feel that way, Howard? That's a bit ageist, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know, not really. I mean, to me it's just who cares? I mean, at one time, a few years ago, someone said to me, they saw a picture of my brother who's got a lot of grey hair, and he's only 5 years older than me, and someone said to me, is that your dad? So I thought, oh, it was great.
Well, I'm sure you thought it was great, but let's speak to your brother. I'm sure he felt very differently about it. I wonder, we're hearing from a lot of older callers, and actually I wonder whether we allow ageism in this country to continue, because as you get older you get a bit more perspective in life and you just end up not caring really what people think. Howard, thank you for your call. Debbie from Buckinghamshire, what's your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, I love it. I absolutely, give me all the compliments you want to.
Then you look fabulous, you sound fabulous.
I'm 65 and I've been mistaken for my daughter, who is 43's sister. And when I've taken my eldest grandson, who's 18 out, I've been mistaken for his mother.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't have Botox and filler not to look younger. So you give me all the compliments you want. And when I get a compliment, trust me, I walk away with the spring in my step.
Well, good, and I'm glad that you're taking it with the intention that it is meant. But perhaps, and that shows confidence in yourself as well. But wouldn't you prefer it if somebody just said to you, Debbie, you're looking good?
Well, they do say that as well. But, sometimes when people say, you'll have a conversation and they'll say, well, how old are you then? Because the conversation you're having obviously is relating to somebody being older. And I'll say, I'm 65, and they go, never. Well,
and
I
you
don't
love
always
that.
say that. They go, never. I don't believe that. So, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm struggling. In that situation, Nina,
that's fine.
Is that ageist?
No, but I think the thing is that we make stereotypical assumptions about people of a certain age. So we think when you're 50 or 60, you should be looking wrinkly and grey and an old crone in some way. I think a lot of people do think that.
They're just idiots, though, aren't they?
Well, no, most people, I think, still in this day and age.
But, we understand why we think youth is more attractive, because it symbolises fertility, health, all of these things that are important when you're finding a partner to have children with. That's why we're attracted to younger people. It's a biological thing, and we can't go against biology.
I have to say, they look better. They do look better. I mean,
younger people?
Yes, they do. Because
Nina, you're starting to sound ageist yourself. There is beauty in age, people.
There is beauty in age, but it's a different beauty, and most people prefer. Why do you think films are made with young people? Why do you think most of the characters?
Because film creators are unimaginative. Okay,
Debbie,
what
we want to see.
Thank you for your call. Thanks for all your calls on this. We're going to have to move in because.